Thank you, guys. Please be seated in the respectful chairs. Group. We strongly believe that this program opens the doors for investment across various sectors in US, offering unique growth possibilities in areas like healthcare, green energy, agriculture, tourism, and many more. It is an exceptional opportunity for all of us who aspire to make a lasting impact through this investment. We are here to not just to discuss profit, but also to consider how our investments can drive meaningful change. Let us dive in and explore limitless potential that the EB5 program offers for us. So before inviting our host for today, Mr. Vikram Sagar Pasala, let me to introduce him, I would like to call upon one more advisor of Kalaraj Media, and he is a man of many hats, like Vijayaramadas Garu onto the stage. He is an advisor, serial investor, he is the director of HR Square, and he is also into media and multiple other businesses. He is also into film, he is also into producing films. I would like to invite Mr. Vijayaramadas Garu onto the stage to introduce our Vikram Sagar Pasala.
Thank you, Revanth. EB5 seminar. Today, I was. I came here to introduce Vikram Pasala, but Vikram Sagar Pasala, I know him whenever I come to THAB, because I have a very good relation with THAB. We keep on inviting the investors to invest in Telangana. That was our, the day Telangana has formed, that day onwards, me and our another colleagues also, we used to, wherever the investment is there, we used to call them to invest in Telangana. So that time government, this time government also very cooperative. I came here, is Code Tracker founder Vikram Pasala, and VSP Group, again one of the key guy who is always talk about the tech savvy things and investment on tech things, and also because sometime back we met and we discussed, because I am from the management, I am so we keep on talking about the various business things. And after coming here at the seminar, so when I see the people here, so the Kurmaguda is one of the closest to my family. But first time I am meeting him, but I had a lot about him. And apart from that, the Abdul Arif sir, who has come from US, I heard about him as one of the good lawyer and the speaker, and also immigration lawyer, and a lot of, he's a working encyclopedia kind of thing. So I heard a lot about him, and also when he has come to Hyderabad to address even our THAB, so I feel very pleasure, sir, and welcome to. One more thing is, he belongs to Hyderabad, though he is settled in as a famous lawyer in Wichita, but he is from Hyderabad. We are proud of you, sir. He belongs to Hyderabad, and nothing to talk about Kurmaguda, and one of the famous business, and I can say a tycoon of the business. And also Vikram, my best friend, And we always think about the techies and investment. We start that hotel, we start here. It is there in US like this. And I went to Wichita and I talked with harish sir. Our vision is this. And also one of the special guests is here, the Paradise brother. And because when I was working for the Pepsi, as a general manager for Pepsi, I used to interact with my Paradise brother. His brothers both are very close to me, and his son also used to play basketball with me. So welcome to this total group. And sir, and Hyderabad, we have a lot of investors here. And with your inspirational speech, may get more investors, and they definitely invest in US because fascinating business is going to the US and investing. So definitely, sir, we look for the investors to invest in your the EB5. And so the 5 people are here. I'm thinking that the 5 are main pillars of this group. And thanks for this opportunity. Vikram, I know you are visionary and I keep on interacting with all the best, and your thoughts and everything will come into the reality. All the best, Vikram. Bye. Thank you all.
Good evening all. I asked Praveen sir to write a speech for me, and he asked me what to write, right? So he gave a nice, I can't even pronounce those words. So I'm going to keep it very simple, simple language, I can't even read this, sophisticated English here. So good evening all again, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. The main goal of, VSP or, our goal is to bring the investors, people who has 200, 300, 500, 800, right? EB5 cost somewhere around close to $1 million. But a lot of people asked me, a lot of questions we got, and I was talking to, Abdulji when I met him. Sir, there are a lot of people here, with little money, big money, small money, a lot of the misconception of understanding, projects are failing, what do we do, and, all this discussion. He said, okay, why don't we have a seminar there, you conduct and we call people. So now, for the people who are here in the room, and for the people who are watching online, I just wanted to introduce the team we have here. People who are successfully got EB5 visas, our Dr. Kazim ji, who is dear enough to, with so much of achievement here, he still have the vision of living there for 3 months and living back here 3 months. That's a concept, we were discussing yesterday. We were able to achieve it through that vision. And some of you, or many of you, or any of your friends who is interested, we can share the knowledge once you learn from this seminar. And I want to welcome Abdul Arif ji to Hyderabad one time. Please give him a big round of applause. So he is so generous to come here to share his knowledge and experience, to put together a small group of people where that small group can educate 100 more people. That's our goal. And then I want to thank Reddy garu. We were there yesterday at his house, and I'm not supposed to say in front of the media here, but the number was big just in that room. The investments in that room itself is like the huge number. So thank you, garu for being here. And Dr. G is always, I met him a few times, but we think we are very close now. That's how he is. He becomes close to anybody whom he meets, and he's an amazing guy. Tarak ji, thank you. Tarak ji is from, Wichita Projects, and is very close to, close to a family member of Abdul ji. And I want to welcome Tarak ji to Hyderabad. We are honored to, have you here. And welcome again, everybody. And I hope you learn from this EB5 seminar. Any questions you have, many of your doubts, what you have, will be clarified. Thank you again. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vikram Sagar Pasala, for inspiring words and vision. Next, I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker today, Mr. Abdul Arif. Mr. Arif is a renowned expert on EB5 program, in EB5 investment program, and with a wealth of decades of experience, both as a attorney, as a developer. He is with us today to share his knowledge, and he is going to share the insights on the EB5 program, what EB5 program is offering each one of us, and his practice extends across investment visa projects, and he holds deep expertise in various US immigration academic insights, making him a perfect guide for today's discussions. Let me give a warm welcome to Mr. Abdul Arif.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. It's a delight and an honor to be back in Hyderabad. First, let me share you my story. I left Hyderabad in 1975 when I was a teenager, when my memories of Hyderabad are frozen in time. So you'll have to forgive me for the lapse in the updates and the things, wonderful things that have happened in Hyderabad. So when I left Hyderabad, Rajesh Khanna was the king of the screen, and Amitabh Bachchan was just starting out, and probably Shah Rukh Khan wasn't even born. So that's how I'm purposely dating myself a little bit by revealing my age to you, and hopefully you won't hold that against me. So that being said, I have been in the US for almost 50 years, and when my parents were alive, I would come back and forth. The last time I came here was '99, and after that, I came back once at the invitation of Dr. Kazim, who was my original EB5 successful client. And from him, my practice in this area grew and grew and grew, and right now, I'm responsible for almost over $200 million in investments in the US. And it's all because of really two main people. One is Dr. Kazim, and next is the renowned builder, Mr. Reddy. And he's just a sheer delight, and he's a wealth of information. I've learned so much about India and Hyderabad and how things work in Hyderabad. Please give a round of applause to these distinguished gentlemen. So, and then the other person I want to thank is, of course, Vikram. And this event would not have happened without him, because just literally 4 weeks ago, I told him, Vikram, the winter is coming in America. I want to go someplace warm, and please do something so we can have fun and achieve something worthwhile for people. So he happened to be here, and it was a perfect timing. Here I am. So at this moment, that's so much about my introductions. I'm happy to discuss. I'll give you a brief overview of how EB5 program works. So EB5 program is, I think the slideshow might be self-explanatory. Oh, sorry. You're better at it, so why don't you do the honors? Most likely I'll screw it up if I do. So I'll let him do it. So that being said, this is basically the overview of how the EB5 immigrant program works. So the idea is any foreign national, Indians who have 800,000 if you're in the T-zone. T zone is a targeted employment area where this category is current. In other words, if you apply today, you will just in 12 to 18 months. But you have to have a project to invest the money in. So clearly I'm here to encourage investments in from people and the developers that you know. With that being said, Mr. Reddy and Mr. Venkatraman here, who are spearheading the Infinity Road project in North Carolina, I would highly encourage you to meet with them one-on-one. And Tariq Azmi, he is my nephew, also is a developer. And I have Mr. Abdurrahman here, who's already an investor in the program. So The brief overview is you apply and you have to have 8,000 US dollars and approximately 60, 70,000 or so in processing fees, and then you get a visa for your whole family and children under 21. That's the essence of the program. Right now in the category, it's China, there's 10,000 visas available per year, and the slot opens up and then it's usually gone very fast. There's an enormous amount of wealth in India, in China, in Vietnam that people are ready to invest in the US. So the overview of the program here, as you can pretty much tell, this is how it works. US offers 10,000 visas for residency, and in 5 years you get to become a permanent resident as soon as your money is invested. So there's a lot of complicated details. I don't want to bore you with how the program works, because most of it, which I tell you now, you'll probably forget and have a follow-up questions anyway. So that being said, I will certainly open up the floor for you if you have any questions, something specific that you need to ask. So I'm here ready to answer your questions. Okay, so I'm sorry, let me be with the program. So Dr. Kazim, if you won't mind come in and just if you could share your experiences with the audience as to how your journey came about. So I give the floor to Dr. Kazim. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's a privilege and honor to be here this evening. Thank you, Vikram, Mr. Reddy, Mr. Arif, and Mr. Azmi. And my journey with EB5, let me first speak a little bit about myself. I'm an oral surgeon by profession. I lived in Hyderabad all my life. I was a promoter, director at Paradise Group of Restaurants it was a family business for 68 years. We exited the business in the year, 2 years back, 2.5 years back. We sold it to a private equity, and then we moved on. I met Mr. Arif way back in 2017, and one of my friends in Chicago, I was exploring the various options for my children who were studying in the US, for them to permanently stay back. So a friend of mine who's a doctor in Chicago, he said that I have a friend in Wichita, Kansas, you should meet, he's a lawyer. So we decided to fly into Wichita, and my first interaction with Mr. Arif was very interesting. I land at the airport and see one gentleman in a truck with shorts and banyan and a hat. And my friend says, he is your lawyer. And being from this part of the world, we normally have a different kind of image when we meet a doctor or a lawyer. So I said, he's a lawyer, and it took me some time to really digest the fact that he is going to be the EB5 lawyer. And then we checked into the hotel, and next morning we happened to go to his office, and I see a different Arif there. Mr. Arif Saab was in his full suit, ready for some argument somewhere. And that's how our journey started. And Wichita, being a very small place in the center of America, at that point I had to invest about 500,000. So Mr. Arif got all his friends, business contacts together. We started the project, and it was a great journey. We had a lot of challenges, but as I said, there are many lawyers across America who are ready to, make you invest in EB5. But what makes Mr. Arif Saab different is, he knows our culture. He was a teenager here, and he knows, especially people who invest in EB5 are the people who are well-to-do in this part of the world, ready to put in that kind of money. So they have they have all the privileges here. So Arif Saab really understands where they're coming from. And we started the project, and it had a lot of, during COVID, it had a lot of challenges, and he always motivated, stood by me, and we had to create about 15 jobs which during COVID, without his support, without Tarek's support, it would not have sustained. I got my green card in Jan 23, and there was a conditionality for 2 years, which was just now, with the help of Mr. Arif, we got that done. So I am his first EB5 candidate. And it's been a wonderful journey. He has not just been my lawyer, he has been a great friend, mentor, guru. He really is an amazing personality. And if anyone is interested in investing in the US in this category, I would highly recommend him. Thank you so much.
Project coming up? Yeah, I think. Hello, yeah. Let me introduce myself. I am Reddy, ex-Indian Air Force flight lieutenant. I'm into this construction industry for the past 30 years. I've done multiple projects in Hyderabad and Bangalore. 4 years back, it so happened, one of my visits to US, whenever I travel abroad, I just look around for the opportunities in terms of business and growth. When I've seen the facts and economics of USA, I could find for a given effort, what you do in India, the opportunity of growth is very, very high. The fact being, the very simple 2-3 facts I want to put forward to you, which makes the lot of the difference. Here in India, with 150 crore population, we have taxpayers and who are showing the income of 1 crore. Out of 150 crores, we have 2,30,000 as per the Parliament declaration. And when you compare with USA, with a population of 30 crore population, 14 crore taxpayers, we have close to 7 crore SSEs of US origin are showing their income as a 100,000. That is in dollars, which is equal to close to 1 crore. The immense economy of USA, which is around 27 trillion, gives the greatest opportunity for any individual who want to come up in this life to really earn in terms of clear white money. And people normally feel that taxation in US is very high, at the rate of maybe 30% average. But in India, when you look at it, your income tax with GST, it is already surpassing that limit. So for that reason, many people has to, conceal their income. And today, when you look for any sources, we'll find little major part of their sources in black. So for this young generation, I really encourage and advise people who are able to afford these in the terms of 8 crores in maybe multiples of part of 8 crores. There is a very great opportunity for them to explore. See, we have, so far my projects are concerned, we are doing in North Carolina and Raleigh, one townhome project with 45 homes that is going to have a project value of around 25 million. For that, we have the EB capacity of around 5 to 6 persons. See, when you look at the EB5 has been offered by the many US origin persons also in the terms of the corporate world. But once you be part of that, once you make a payment there, you are really having faceless transactions, and when you want to talk to them, really you don't see any personality or face. You can talk to them and interact. But whereas as just now my friend has told his experience about RFG and other developers and other hotelers who are seeking the EB5, definitely they being part of your city and your culture and the background what they have and tons of experience they have acquired in this last couple of decades, the projects are going to be 100% feasible, and is going to make the project 100% successful, and also your investments to be coming back along with some good returns very earliest compare it to any other projects taken up by the US origin. Like when they take up the projects, they mostly in US origin, they take hotels with 100 and 120 EB5 requirements. When you one among 100 is very difficult to even reach out them. Whereas most of our projects needs around 5, 6, 10, that's the volume, and you become very important person as far the developers are concerned. Also, you are able to reach them and you can feel safe about your investments. And also when you look at the track of a company which is floated from the India base, you can see the tracks, see how long they are in this industry and what is their track and what is their taxes they have paid and how is their nature. And from the unknown to known, there's a lot of differences there. I really look forward. For most of you have any basic doubts, we are ready here to clarify and interact with you. Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to thank everybody to take the time and come here, respected sirs, elders, and friends. My story is very similar to my uncle. I was born here, went to school here. In early teens, I left and to join my uncle. My uncle is very practical, so 24 hours later, I was mowing the lawns because he wanted us to learn the ethics and hard work. That really set us in a pace where you can achieve anything you want. What that really does is gives you the power and really realize the amazing opportunities America provides. And really, you know, a person that left here at the age of 16, going there, starting out the very first day, in 24 hours, I mowed the lawns. Now, 30 years now, I have owned multiple real estates in the commercial side, multiple restaurants, pizzerias, donut hole coffees, number of investments, successful, some had learning lessons where it didn't work well. But what that tells you is you take the risk and you take that and really encourage that to take the opportunity, not necessarily for you, but for your kids. Kids will really reach their goals. The kids that you have really want that potential because at some level, you have worked hard for your kids. It's your kids' turn to really achieve some things that you have dreamt for them and make an amazing life and reach for the stars. And really, if you think, and I'll give this, not to bore you too much, but if you think about it, America is a place where Barack Obama's father came as a student and Barack Obama became a president. Now we have Indian origin with the father for Kamala Harris. She's running to be a president. We have potentially the vice president, J.D. Vance's wife, who is of Indian descent. So you can think the success stories that we have, and we as representing India, we're really the top two, the richest in US, more intellectual, and contributing to the country of US, and has the effects that reach all the way back here. But at the same time, not too much bragging about the benefits, but you know, we have done small projects, big projects, and those are very personal for us because we become friends and families with everybody that invest. And trust me, we have had everybody that has worked with us, had dinner with us, come to the family events for us. So it really becomes an extended family for us regardless, and really it comes back to, you know, you really feel home, at least we feel home. Somebody else from India is coming regardless of what background it is, meaning if they're from Delhi or Chennai or even Hyderabad, it really makes us even proud that we have amazing people with amazing dreams that we are contributing and making our country as an India great and put us in the map. But again, not too worried about the project. I mean, we have a project which is right next to our university that has aerospace is our main expertise program in the US. We have multiple aircraft companies there like Boeing, Spirit, Textron, and we get from Telangana itself for the last 4 years, we've had over 700 students in our university. What that did is
created a little bit of an issue for housing, which brought about the project that we have now. So we have a project that we're building 20 duplex homes, and then a condo student units for 82 of those. So again, it's not a big project, but we're trying to solve the problem when the parents are sending their kids to US for studies, and they're coming in my hometown and they don't have a place to stay. So really think of the effects that you're going to have. It's not necessarily just benefits that you have for your kids, but it's helping the economy there, it's helping the Indian students that are coming there, and making a better future for them. But I'll get into the details of the project on one-on-one if you need, but I just wanted to give you a general idea of what this program has done and how it becomes a family as we grow more.
We have Mr. Abdul Rahman, CFO, Maverick Capital Real Estate, to speak few words on this occasion and share his experience.
Hi, good evening. Basically, I'm Abdurrahman and I'm from Dubai. The thing is, I would like to thank for all of you that, I have got this opportunity to share my experience, though I am a current candidate of EB5. Again, I have applied my EB5 in this year itself in 2024 March, and I have got the receipt notice in 2024 April itself, just because of Mr. Abdul. I came across with Abdul in the last year, and the most important thing, everyone might be thinking, we might be spending all this money and we are investing $800,000, and how come it's secure? That is the most important part. The thing is, Abdul himself is having a regional center who's been monitoring all these 800,000. The only thing is, whenever they give a report for USCIS, with whom he is dealing with, those reports are being copied to you on, time by time. They are supposed to give this report for USCIS every 3 months. So those reports are being copied to you, because of which you are so comfortable and you know that where exactly your money has been spent. So you don't need to worry, where the project is going, because you yourself are monitoring by these copies that where exactly the money is being spent. So there is no worry about the projects, and these guys are dealing only with those projects in which they are personally involved. So I myself am really thankful, and I'm very comfortable with my investments, and by the results itself, which has taken 3 weeks to get my receipt notice. So really I'm thankful to Mr. Abdul. Thank you.
I invite Ramana Reddy garu to share his experience.
Good evening, gentlemen. I am associated with Mr. Reddy for the past 40 years, and we have ventured into US with a project of 44 townhouses that is incidentally falling in the target area, TEA zone. And we are coming up with 44 townhouses spread over in an extent of 15 acres. And there are a lot of, we have physically visited the sites, we have chosen the site, and the plan is ready now to construct. We will be starting next month. Now, this project of 44 townhouses is spread, it's ground and first, each townhouse, and there are 44 in an acreage of 15 acres. So when you are comparing with this or any other similar townhouses in US also, this has a lot of open spaces. And it has a lot of tree wooded areas, and there is a natural stream which is flowing along, and it's a live stream. And it's on the ridge also. And the moment you enter that, you will feel you are at the top of those areas, and all other areas are much below this place. It is a beautiful place to invest in, and the revenue and the returns also will be higher, and it will be a 100% safer project. I would request you to, if any prosper applicants, to kindly consider this into that. We are open for, now we can take those EP5 applicants. We have become eligible now. Already we have a regional center in place. Isn't it, Adi? Yes. So we can accept legally we can accept those applications now. Thank you.
Let me thank all the guests, and I request all the guests to please occupy the front row so that we can start the actual technical session by Abdul Arif Garu. Mr. Abdul Arif will now lead us through the intricacies of EP5 program. In his talk, he will cover essential aspects, including the unique opportunities to offer across healthcare, technology, agriculture, education, and many more. Mr. Abdul Arif will also help clear up any misconceptions, sharing valuable insights that only someone with his depth of expertise can provide. So let us turn our attention to Mr. Arif as he takes us through this exciting program. Over to you, sir.
Again, thank you all the guests, and I forgot to thank Praveen and then Raju Garu, for introducing me there, for all the nice words and making me a hero here. Thank you. And now, Abdulji is going to, RFG is going to go through the process, and we have 27 years online, and we'll take, we go through the process and, explain. We can take the questions from the audience here, and then we're going to play the video on the screen. Let's see if they have any questions. If not, I would request you to go through the questions itself before they ask, clarify all the doubts and, help us with all your insights and your experience. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. So let me start out basically with how the program works. First and foremost, you need to understand that you have accessible $800,000 in funds, and most important part that I can share with you as far as investment is concerned, 90% of these applications fail, not because of the project fails, but because the investors are unable to prove the source of funds. So the source of your $800,000 or $1 million, as the case may be, has to be after-tax income in the United States, in India, or anywhere else, and the U.S. government is extremely strict about accepting money from foreign nationals that is illegal, for which the source is not legal. For instance, there's an enormous number, literally trillions of dollars of funds available in Dubai, but my biggest challenge is the people are not able to prove that their funds are legal. We have inquiries coming all the time from us, hey, will you take cash? Well, not really. I'm afraid that I can't as much as I would like to, but I would be in trouble with the U.S. government. So I'm not about to get in trouble with the U.S. government, nor should the developer get in trouble with it. Now, having said that, there is no requirement that you have to have the full $800,000 at the beginning. Generally accepted practice is you must be able to show that you have or have the ability to access the $800,000. What I mean by that is you can borrow the funds, or you can get it gifted by a relative, or at least you must have the ability to identify a source. Like for instance, you have to identify if you have a piece of land, real estate, anywhere else in the world, that whoever the owner is ready and willing to give you the money. So that is probably the most important fact that I have to share with you. Then, but like Vikram said earlier on, that if you don't have all of 800, don't despair, because there's ways around how to get that requirement. So you can start the application with as little as 200,000. We recommend that people come up with at least 25% of the required amount. And then you have to show the ability that you can borrow or raise the money in, say, 6 months at the most. And that's oftentimes developers like Mr. Reddy and Tariq will be able to help you identify and layer your investment in such a way that your application is of course, successful. So again, to emphasize one more time, you don't have to have 800,000 at once. If you have 25% and you have the ability to access the rest of it later on, that's good enough. So that, and then of course, I don't need to really remind you of the exciting possibilities that you have if you're investing money in the United States. The ability to for your children and yourself to immigrate and start an entrepreneurial journey in the United States. So that being said, this is a brief overview. That's the biggest part I covered. Now, if you have technical questions, I'd be happy to take them. But these are some technical details that they're self-explanatory. I don't want to verbally say all those things because you're likely to forget. This, I believe this slide is available on the website for you too, and if you have some technical questions, I'll be happy to answer. You should forward it, if you don't mind. So anyway, as you see, that's where the process starts. First, you select a project, select a developer, and then deposit the funds, and my office will, so my office will help you file the I-526 application, and once you file the application, we basically wait for the USCIS. There you go, thank you. So this is where it says, the process starts by you selecting the project, and again, I'm obviously a little bit partial to Mr. Reddy because he has a project ready and available to invest money in. And the advantage of having something very unique that this particular event offers is the developer is a local developer in Hyderabad itself. He has a tremendous track record that you will be able to be comfortable investing his money. And then he has a project ready and available. And Mr. Tariq Azmi also has a project which is ready to invest, and he's here to take your questions and give you the answers as to how soon can you withdraw your money back. Then obviously the next step would be you get denied or withdraw your funds. But as I'm going back to the denial process, 90% of them get denied because you're unable to prove your source of funds. So keep that in mind, that's the most important. Obviously, I've done 33 projects so far, 33 applications, one of them failed. One failed because of COVID. And he was unable to prove the source of funds, but we still have it under appeal, and most of my applicants are already successful, have received their visas, and the rest of them are in process. So then I'll move on to the other part. After 2 years, as soon as your project is approved, you get a green card. If you are in the U.S., you get an employment card immediately and Social Security card. So a lot of you who are applicants, you have children in the United States, are able to adjust immediately, as opposed to consular processing. Consular processing is for people who are living here. But a lot of you have relatives who are living in the US or already on H-1B and have been on H-1B for many, many years. So those are your ideal candidates. So then, as I said, the outside consular processing, and after 21 months, your 829 gets approved, means your green card is now permanent, and oftentimes you can apply for U.S. citizenship also. One of the things that with due regards to Srinivas here, there's one part, if you go back, that's, next one. Yeah, I'm sorry, go forward, sorry. There you go, before. Okay, so right after you get your processing, most people ask you, when can I get my money back? Clearly, that's the extremely important part of the equation, right? You need to get your money back. See, the regulations require that your money must be at risk for 2 years. 2 years, your money must be at risk. So after that, it's really between you and the developer when you want to withdraw your funds. After your 2 years is fine, and the process doesn't exactly match. In other words, you might get approval a little bit later than 2 years, but you can withdraw your money prior to getting approval itself, so long as the condition of 24 months is met. So the time 800 comes into the developer and the time it goes out to the developer is 2 years. And as far as the returns are concerned, that's strictly between the developer, what kind of return he wants to give you, how soon he wants to return your money, or what kind of equity he's going to give you in his project. So then the slide comes in, the 829 application comes in, you verify the jobs you've created, and then you're home free. And while you have a green card, you can travel as many times you want to outside the United States, come in and go as you please. So those are the basic high overview of the whole process works. So that being said, I'm happy to take any specific questions you may have. So I'll open the floor to you. I saw someone raise a hand back there. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, this is Venkat here. So, on the quick question, that how safe is investment in US today? It's not related to EB5, but suppose I want to invest in a construction business and travel on a business visa there. And maybe in future I apply for EB5, but not at this time. So, how safe is that?
See, again, how safe is your investment? I would recommend any investment that you make has to have some basis in real estate. Everything is risky, of course, but if you're looking to invest, I would strongly suggest that your funds be collateralized or backed up by some sort of real estate. Some equity ownership in the real estate. That's probably your safest bet. The returns may not be as high, like if you're buying Microsoft stock or something like Google stock or Tesla stock, but at least there's no shrinkage in your original investment.
So, do you have links where you show the opportunities also?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So, next question, please. While I'm waiting for someone to ask a question, again, I want to emphasize the quality of your investments really is dependent on your relationship with the developer. Go ahead, sir, you were asking a question again. Yeah, the gentleman right there. The gentleman in the pink.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sir, with regard to the source of fund.
Yes.
So, I mean, the guy is having some 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs as salary or something, and he wants to go on EB5. He has a family property or something, which is worth more than 15 crores or 20 crores a year. So, how does he come into this picture?
So, great question, because a lot of your Indian H-1B candidates in the US have a great salary, husband and wife, combining maybe $200,000-300,000 in wages and salaries in the US, and they have properties back in India, right? So basically, the premise of your question would be, first show your tax return showing that you're earning a salary from whatever company that you're earning, and then you provide proof of ownership in your Indian real estate and get an appraisal from a local appraiser saying the value of your property is whatever it's worth. So long as your savings in the United States and your value of your real estate equals 800,000 or greater, then there you go, that's your ideal candidate. And he can process in the United States.
Sir, the local authority here giving the valuation certificate, is it applied there? Will they acknowledge it?
Yes, they do. Fortunately, the systems are so sophisticated at this point that they're able to verify the value of Indian property quite well. You'd be surprised how sophisticated the systems have become in cross-verifying the valuation. And then ultimately, see, at the point of application, when you do this, all you're identifying is the source. But when the actual source is sold and the funds come into your account, then it becomes a little bit more tricky because most people don't like to pay taxes. Therefore, they would have to figure out a way to pay the Indian taxes on the sale of the real estate they've made and then transfer that money to the United States. So, typical question. People say, hey, I have a salary of this much. Will you take cash? So, out of every 100 inquiries we have, money is not the issue. Transferring the money is the issue. So we have some sophisticated systems we put in place so we can, I don't want to use the word sanitize your money, but there's a way to clearly make it more acceptable legally. So Dubai is a great place to do so.
Last question, sir. Sir, if I invest my funds in Dubai,
Yes.
and I sell that property in Dubai, and still show that as a legal fund, and I can still apply as an Indian citizen in US, I mean, the EB5.
Absolutely. Yes, but then again, like everything has a little bit of a wrinkle to it. It's not as clean cut as you might think. We've had some inquiries. So for instance, let's say you took bags of cash from here to Dubai, bought a piece of property, and then resold it a month later, and it's not like they magically become clean, right? They will ask you, how did you buy the property in Dubai? So clearly you have to have several layers in place and have a company already in existence for a little while. But there are professional organizations in Dubai who help with this precise problem. So let me give you an instance. Let's say for you have 800,000 or equivalent in Indian cash. What I would suggest is you deposit that money in one of those Arab banks and get a certificate of deposit, or what do you guys call it here? It's not certificate of deposit. What do you call
Fixed
it?
deposits. Fixed deposit.
Fixed deposit, sorry. So you get a fixed deposit and then you turn around and borrow against it. So
That's not a question.
I'm sorry?
If I put it in a fixed deposit and take a loan on it, nobody questions it.
Right, because see, technically now your investment is a loan.
You will not ask the source of fund for that loan.
No, because you're repaying that back.
So it's the botheration of the bank, but not the EB5.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the banks will take your cash any day. That's the beauty of it. Banks don't care. The ones in Dubai don't care. The banks in India care. So in banks in Dubai, you take bags of cash, get a bond certificate or a fixed deposit, and turn around and do it. And get a loan against it, and the loan document will say, hey, Mr. Abdurrahmani is a wonderful person. We like him a lot. We gave him a personal loan for 800,000. But the idea behind this is collateralized heavily with that certificate of deposit, because if he doesn't pay it back, the certificate of deposit is gone.
Can Vikram open a counter?
That, I think, is a question I can answer better in person, okay? Because clearly, if this was so easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So clearly, it's not as easy as it sounds again, but in this general forum, all I can do is give you a general overview of it, depending on your personal situation. So clearly, we have investment advisors who do nothing but this type of stuff. There are banks and institutions in the United States who actually loan money for EB5 candidates.
That depends on the credit history of the candidate, right?
And the collateral. And the asset-based collateral. So see, a lot of times, your typical H-1B guy, he has husband and wife working in the U.S. for 10 to 15 years. They usually have a nice house, and as Indians are, they pay it off rather quickly. So you have maybe $300,000-400,000 in equity. So you have some of your cash, some of your equity, and you have a rich uncle like Mr. Sagar over here, and Mr. Sagar will loan you the money. And there you go, you have magically you have fulfilled your requirement.
Then why are
Mr. Sagar?
Sir, why are not Indians taking these routes, sir?
There are. This business is exploding. The biggest barrier is to find the developer that you can trust. Okay? So let me give you an example. Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, in 2016, he went to China and he gave a nice long story about building a 200-room Marriott in LA. Okay? So he got like 100 investors, $500,000 each. So how much is that? That's a huge amount of money, right? So he took their money, built a building, and midway through the building, the jobs are created. That's the beautiful thing about a regional center. Then he said, oh, we have cost overrun, we have this problem, that problem, this problem, and then again, and then he borrowed some money, and the bank foreclosed on him because he couldn't pay it back. And then he told the investors, sorry, your money disappeared, but here's a green card, go away. That's what happened to a lot of people. See, and these are wealthy Chinese investors. You think they would question Donald Trump's son-in-law, where the money went? But clearly that's not what happened, but that's how people get it. So that's why the purpose of having this seminar is to introduce a local developer who you know and trust. That is where the safety of your money comes. Then this is something with Mr. Sagar here, I need to acknowledge you, where hopefully we'll hold a seminar in Delhi within the next few months where Mr. Sagar is going to be building a big, beautiful hotel in Michigan, right? In Michigan. So again, for any of you prospective investors, the key is to know your developer. How solid he is. How much do you trust him for the safety of your money? Now there's of course lots of development going on in the United States. But like Dr. Kazim said earlier, there's no relationship between the developer and the investor. At best, you might get an email once in 3 months, hey, this is what we're doing with your money. And don't bother me with too many questions. You'll get your green card when you get your green card, don't bother me. So what I think our group is better and different is the developers are known to us. I work with developers who have a great following in the United States as well as in India. So that's the key to your question, sir.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you. But what happened to Trump story, sir?
The Trump story, the Chinese guy got their green card, their money disappeared.
So they got the green card.
Yes. So they said, oh, thank you very much, here's my green card, we don't care about the money.
Yeah. Chinese are Chinese, right?
That's what happened to the Chinese. So anyway, that's a great question. Again, to reiterate one more time, the key is the relationship to the developer. That's why I want to thank Mr. Sagar over here. He came all the way from Amritsar as a developer. He hopes to do the same thing there. So any more questions, sir? question there, sir? Which one? Come on over, sir. So, Srinivas, is there some questions on the web that we can answer? I guess Srinivas disappeared. But in the meantime, I'm here to take any more questions. And go ahead, sir. Even better? No, basically you would identify the subject property from where the inheritance came, right? Where was? Right, but there's got to be some kind of record showing the ownership of the real estate, right? And the ownership of the real estate, the owner, and from the owner to the investor. So clearly lots of Indians do that because their parents, grandparents, however they inherited. And you have some registration papers. See, the key about Indian investments is they have trouble with documentation. So documentation got to be really solid. Absolutely. And surprisingly, USCIS has very sophisticated machinery in figuring out how legitimate these documents are. Those are the best kind. Those are the best kind because nobody questions. A bank has the money, all the money in the world, they will give you the money, right? You produce a loan document. That is the cleanest way. Because see, we have some investors here have had. Absolutely. Whenever he wants to sell it, do it. Because see, USCIS doesn't really give a damn whether you lost your money or you made money or none of that. They care about investment in the U.S. The main condition is the money be clean. Of course not. Of course not. U.S. government is not in business of guaranteeing anything other than their own debt. The U.S. Treasury, that's the only thing they guarantee, that your dollar is worth something, and that's another whole other subject, the dollar. Yes. Exactly. See, so the security of your money, again, is dependent on your developer. How well you know the developer. And that's why the quality of the investment, see, most people don't really understand how the real estate in the United States works, right? So if you have a hotel, they have no idea how leveraged that hotel is. They have no idea where your money is going to go, right? But they know the developer. Most people are not sophisticated to understand the paper trail. They're just trusting the developer. So emphasize over your saga, sir, your role would be critical in assuring the investors that their money is safe. And then the rest of it is easy. It's really easy. After that, your whole family gets every husband, wife, all children under 21. And if you have any kids that are like 20 years old, then if you apply, their age freezes. So by the time that you apply and by the time you actually receive the visa, you may exceed the age 21, right? But you get grandfathered in and your age is locked in. So that's the beautiful thing. So if you have some investors in mind whose children are close to 21, now is the time to invest. Now is the time to invest. Go ahead, Vikram.
I got two questions.
Okay.
This from the audience. Okay. One, at what age, my kids are disqualified or not eligible for EB5? If I have a 30-year-old, if I have a 20-year-old,
30-year-old is out of luck. 30-year-old needs his own visa.
He's not eligible?
No, it's 21 or younger.
Younger visa age.
Yes, 21 and younger.
I will answer your question. Actually, when I applied, my children were below 21. And when I got accepted, my elder son was just 5 days less than 21.
Yes.
So initially they rejected him, saying that this thing, then RFN back and forth to prove his age, that when we applied he was 18, and then when this thing came, he was 5 days short of 21.
Yes.
So he was included in the EB5.
Yeah, so that's the question.
This is a question for the guy who's online watching now.
Okay.
So if we can address it in the sky, yeah, that's it. There you go.
I'm looking at the sky, like you asked me to do. I don't see nothing there.
If a person, like whenever he's filing the application, the completion, so it takes around 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Can, in between, on this behalf of application, can he get a B1, B2 visa to visit and see the project? And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Real example, Mr. Abdul Rahman himself. He's on a 10-year visa, and his application is in process. They come and go as they please on a B1, B2. They come visit, look around, stay, monitor the progress of the project, possibly help in it. Unpaid though, you're not supposed to actually get compensation, but that's between you and the developer.
It's your own expenses.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I got it. Actually, 90% of the people of this sector, they don't need a visa. They were already
Exactly.
having the visas.
Exactly.
But
So
sometimes
that's
when they
the,
don't have,
right, sorry to interrupt, go ahead, sir.
yeah, but sometimes if they don't have, then they can apply visa on this way.
Correct. So a lot of times, the EB5, potential EB5, they already have a 10-year visa. They come and go many times. And that remains active and alive, while the I-526, which is the green card application for the EB5, that is parallelly being processed. And at the right time, you merge together, this goes away, then you have a conditional green card, you can travel. Lots of times those happens too. We've seen, in fact, most EB5 petitioners already have a B1, B2 visa. And at the arrival at the airport, nobody hardly even questions that. Because they have a track record of going back and forth, nobody bothers them. So.
One more question online.
Okay.
I think we answered it. I think we can answer this. What is the time frame for the EB5 green card to get it in hand?
Okay, so, conditions green card, so from the time of your receipt notice, when you first apply, usually 12 to 18 months. If it is in a T-zone, if it's a non-T-zone, India categories, I think it's retrogressed a little bit, it's 2022. So certainly 3 years. Non-T-zone. T-zone, like Mr. Papa Reddy's project is in the T-zone, you get it 12 to 18 months.
That's to get the actual green card.
To get your approval.
Approval, the conditional approval.
No, conditional approval, then depending where you are, let's say you're in India, then there's a little bit of a time lag because you got a consular process and you got to wait for an appointment at visa in Mumbai or Hyderabad or Delhi. That takes a little bit of time. So the process is application goes in, application approval. If you're in the United States, you adjust immediately. If you're not in the United States, you consular process in India. And that takes some more time, so that might take another 6 months.
Question again, online question. You got to look at sky and tell them. Another question is, if they're on H1 or a B1 visa in US, when will I get my EAD and when will I get my temporary green card or conditional green card?
Okay, great question. If you are on B1, you cannot get an EAD. But if you're on H1, you do get an EAD. Because see, there's no path to transition from B1 to EAD, but it is from H1. See, H1, you already have an EAD, so it's just a matter of changing the category of the EAD from, if it's an OPD, CPD, whatever it is, you just transition over to I-485, adjustment of status, and then you get your green card. The good thing is if you're present in the United States with H-1B, much easier to get it. Because the consular processing takes a long time. So that's the question.
Sir, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, if the candidate is having I-140, okay, on the H1.
Yeah, which is the same thing as H-1B. And then he's on, yeah, I-140 means he's got his petition approved to be an alien worker, right? He's got a work permit already.
Okay.
And then, but the waiting time to get his green card,
Is 20 years.
20 years,
Okay.
maybe more.
So can we do this parallelly?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Then there are a bunch of people ready who can start doing that.
That's what I'm saying, the opportunity for developers like Mr. Reddy and Mr. Sagar and Tarek here is immense. Because right now, last time I remember, sir, there were approximately 400,000 H-1B workers that already have I-140s in the United States. The kids are growing older, they don't have no way to adjust their kids, and their kids, when they become 21, they have no status. So it's huge opportunity. You know the word in Chinese for crisis and opportunity, the word is the same. So I'm encouraged by people like yourself. If somebody's crisis is your opportunity. So you gotta have a project ready to go, know the developer, I will do the rest. And we have some resources available to help you. At the beginning of the conversation, I said there are lots of people who have 200,000, 300,000. They have some money that they can invest to get their process started, so that you get in line. Get in line to get your visa. Yeah. So, anyway, Vikram, I think it's about time to conclude this, right? Happy to discuss this outside one-on-one. If you are, for whatever reason, don't feel comfortable talking on stage, I'll be happy to. I'm here for another 3 days, and happy to meet with you one-on-one at any time you wish. Anyway, guys.
Wonderful, sir.
Thank you. Anyway, sir, that concludes the event. Unless they have some more questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Sagar can also answer.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more last quick questions? Srinivas? Let's wait for a few more minutes. Vikram will join us. Vikram. In the meantime, if you have any more questions related to investments in US, EB5. Yeah. So I invite Vikram Garu to, before concluding this session, I again invite Vikram Garu to present a token of gratitude to our Abdul Arif.
Thank you for everybody who's leaving already. Thank you guys, and Abdulji, it's a great honor to have you here, and you gave us tremendous knowledge today. I have learned so much from these events and from the questions what people asked so far. So thank you again for the wonderful event.
Thank you, guys. I hope to see you around. I'm in the lobby hanging around or in Hyderabad for another 3 days, and happy to just get hold of this guy or get hold of the organizer. I'll be happy to see you, any one of you, one-on-one. Thanks again.
Thanks for all the guests who actually accepted our invitation and joined us. Dr. Ji, Karnakar Ji, Ramna Garu, Abdul Ji, 1 second. So I'm going to invite Dr. You wait, sir. Dr. Kazim Ji to come and take our honor here, sir. Oh, so now, sorry, we changed the guest. Thank you. Yes, nice. Okay. Next. Sir Karnakar Garu, if we can come on one stage, and Ramna Garu, come. Ramna Garu, please join us on the stage. Karnakar Auto, sir. Sir, Shala Garu, please. This is the first time you're doing.
Tariq Ji. Tariq. Just before concluding, with the final concluding notes, today's event, this wonderful event is hosted by Kalaraj Media and Entertainment, Sri Marri Srinivas Garu. Kalaraj Media as a group of channels, like one of the channel is KR Bharat. So in that KR Bharat, we are starting a new program called Coffee with Kalyan. So we request all the guests gathered on the dais to launch the logo, the official logo of the Coffee with Kalyan. I would like to also invite Mr. Kalyan, who is the anchor of the program, onto the dais. And the first program is going to be the launch program of this Coffee with Kalyan is going to be Mr. Vikram Sagar Pasala. The launch program of this Coffee with Kalyan is going to be Coffee with Kalyan is going to be Vikram Sagar Pasala's podcast. I also invite Dr. Jain Venkat Garu onto the stage, please. Kasturi Srinivas Garu. Anit. You say
Rajesh Katragada.
Rajesh Katragada.
Alright. All the best, Kalraj Media, for Coffee with the Kalyan. Congratulations, and good luck for Kalraj Media. I wish them good luck for to make this event a successful meeting, and this should be bigger than Coffee with Karan.
So with that, we conclude today's enlightening session. I thank our expert guest Arif Abdul Garu to sharing his valuable insights and lot of details about EB5 program. I also thank all the guests on behalf of Code Tracker and VSP Capital Investments for having gracing this occasion. Thank you.